Okay, this problem says that there are 29 people going on a trip to New York City. They're going to share the cost equally. Let S equal each person's share of the cost. What is each person's share? Okay, and then they got a little flyer that shows for the group bus trip, the bus is going to cost $7,830. Hotels are going to cost $10,034. Meals are going to cost $812. And special events tickets are going to cost $435 for a total cost of $19,111. Okay, they give you lots and lots of numbers in this problem, but you're really only going to need 2 of the numbers in that problem. Okay, what 2 numbers do we need to work with? Jack.
29 and 19,111.
Yeah, because they're going to split the total cost of the trip. So it's nice that they told us what everything costs, but the big important thing is this right here. Okay, and how do we share this amount with 29 people? What kind of math am I going to have to do, Marco? Division. So we're going to take 19,111 and divide it by 29. And so when you said you had it figured out, what did you get? Josie. Yes, that's right. It should come out evenly. Each person pays $659 to go on this trip, which could be a good deal. It might not be. I don't know how many days they're going, but it sounds kind of like a boring trip because they're spending way more on the hotel and the bus than they are on like tickets to things, which makes me think they're just going to spend more time on the bus and in their rooms than like exploring New York. I could be wrong. Okay, so you guys had to use division to solve that. We can also set up an equation that would show that as well. So yesterday we worked with equations with adding and subtracting in them. Today we're going to work with equations with multiplication and division in them. So let's take a look. It's going to take a little bit. It's always slow when we're on Zoom.
How can you solve a multiplication equation? Let's look at an example. Juan sold 3 paintings for $45. He charged the same amount for each painting. How much did he charge for each painting?
Okay.
Define the variable before you write and solve an equation. Let x equal the amount Juan charged for each painting. Solve the equation 3x equals 45 to find the answer. What is the unknown in this situation, and how is it represented? What operation is used in the equation?
Okay, so our equation is 3 times x equals 45. Our unknown is the variable, or x. What does x stand for? Axton? The what?
The number.
Of what?
The answer number.
The what number? I didn't hear you.
Do you want me to say the number?
No, don't say the number. What does x stand for?
The number that goes between 45.
Yeah, what is that? Like in this situation, what does x represent though? In this exact situation, Josie?
How much do you pay?
How much? He paid a total of $45. So what would the x represent? Jack?
Oh, the cost of each painting.
The cost of each painting. So he said each painting was the same amount. So our unknown is what that amount is. We know he sold 3 paintings. They sold for a total of $45. We don't know how much each one cost. Okay, so that's why we have that unknown X right there. Okay, so if we take 3 times the cost of one painting, we'll get $45. Okay. The operation used in this equation, when we have a number right next to a variable, what kind of math is that? Mackie? Multiplication.
The unknown is the amount of money Juan charged per painting and is represented by the variable X. The operation used in the equation is multiplication.
How can you find the value of X that makes the equation true?
How does this pan balance represent the quantities in the equation?
Okay, here we have 3 X's and here we have 45. How, let's see, how are those 45 little green tiles arranged? Did they just throw them all on there? Jack? Yeah, they divided the 45 into 3 groups. So what do you think we're gonna do to solve these problems? Or like this problem in particular, Josie? Yeah, we're gonna divide it. We're gonna divide the 45 by 3. Okay.
The 3 cubes labeled X on the left pan represent the 3X in the equation and balance the right pan of 45 cubes that represent the 45 in the equation. Notice that both sides are divided into 3 equal groups. How does this pan balance represent the solution of the equation?
Okay, if 3x is equal to 45, 1x is going to be how many? How many green ones are on there right now? Jeff?
1.
The green ones.
Oh.
Axton? 15 little green squares. If we take 45 and divide it by 3, we should get 15.
This pan balance shows the result of dividing both sides by 3. The pans remain balanced, so X equals 15. You can use inverse operations to solve the equation 3x equals 45. Which operation will you use?
Okay, so
Select your answer.
yesterday we did the inverse of adding or subtracting to solve an equation. We can also use the inverse of multiplication or division to solve the problem or to solve equations. And inverse means opposite. So what are we going to use to solve this, Axton?
Multiplication?
Our equation was 3 times x equals 15.
Division.
Division, which is how, like, when I was using words, I kept saying like 45 divided by 3. So that makes sense.
Dividing by 3 is the inverse of multiplying by 3. Use inverse operations to solve the equation. Write the equation. Divide both sides by 3. Simplify. To check, substitute 15 for x. Write the equation. Substitute 15 for x. Simplify. It checks. You solved a multiplication equation to find that Juan charged $15 for each painting.
Okay, again, just like yesterday, they're going to use some easier ones to solve, some smaller numbers, so that you can make sure you're doing the process right. They're a lot easier to like plug back in and double check.
Last night I got
You got confused? How?
Yeah, I'm like 10 and 12. They wanted me to like simplify, and I'm like, okay. So then the answer, and then I figured out they had to write down how to simplify the problem, and then
Yeah. So, they'll still like most of our examples will be smaller, easier numbers. That doesn't mean they won't give you some bigger ones in your homework either, though. Teresa, I guess. Teresia? I don't know. That's not how I spell my name. Picked the same number of tomatoes each day. In 4 days, she picked 52 tomatoes. How many tomatoes did Teresa pick each day? Let N represent the number of tomatoes Teresa picked each day. So they gave us the equation 4N equals 52 because she picked tomatoes for 4 days and she picked the same number of tomatoes. Okay, I just want to know how they say this.
Teresia.
Teresia. Okay. Anyway, so you can see underneath that 4N equals 52 that on the left side we are dividing by 4. So what do I need to do on the right side? Yeah. Divide by 4 again. Divide by 4. And when I take 52 divided by 4, how many times does 4 go into 5? How many times does it go into 12? 3 times. So that means Teresia picked 13 tomatoes each day. Which property of equality did we use to solve Teresia's equation? Axon? Division property. Why? Does it explain? Well, we needed to do the inverse of multiplying. The inverse of multiplying is dividing. Any questions so far? Similar concept to yesterday, just with different kinds of math. Okay, the 15 members of the ski club go on a group ski trip. Student groups receive a special rate on lift tickets that is half off the daily rate. Write and solve an equation to find T, the total cost of their lift ticket. Okay, so they already told us the lift ticket is $79 originally, but they get it half off. So they're getting it for $39.50. And we want to find the total cost of the lift ticket. Okay. How many students are in this group? Axon?
15.
15. You can count the number of boxes, or it says it right there. Okay, so we're going to write an equation using this information that we were given. Okay, so if we take the total cost and divide it by 15, we should get $39.50. Sorry, and 50 cents. Okay, we want to get rid of this divided by 15. So we need to do the inverse of it. What is the opposite or inverse of dividing? Josie? Multiplying. So we're going to multiply each side times 15. When you do this, it cancels out. So I have this T on the left. $39.50 times 15 is $592.50. So the cost of the tickets was $592.50 for all 15 of them, which isn't that bad, considering that's half off. If they weren't students and 15 people went skiing, we're looking at $1,200 just to go skiing. So we're going on that. There we go. Helen puts 2,292 stickers in an album. Each page in the album holds 24 stickers. How many pages P can Helen fill? Okay, each page is going to hold 24 stickers. So I can represent that as like 24 times P. Okay, 24 times P number of pages is going to equal 2,292. Okay, so we can use either a multiplication or a division equation to represent the situation. We can do it two different ways. Okay, either you can take 2,292 and divide it by 24, and that will equal your P. Okay, here, P is already by itself. So all you need to do to solve is just do the division problem. Simplify it. Okay, or you can write it as a multiplication equation. 24 times P, or 24 stickers per page, equals 2,292. Okay, to solve this one, I need to do the inverse of multiplying. What's that? What's the inverse of multiplying, Mackie? Division. And so we'll end up dividing 2,292 by 24. So we'll end up with the same answer no matter which way you solve it. Okay, if you read through the story problem and you had to solve it and not read an equation, most of you would probably do that division problem first. I think that's how you would choose to do it. Okay, but you can also set it up like this as well. Setting it up like this will help like later, but this is just to show that you can set it up multiple ways. Okay, so if we reduce this one, the 2,292 divided by 24, we're going to divide and get 95 remainder 12. So she can completely fill up 95 pages.
Wow.
So if we solve the equation 24 times P equals 2,292, we're still going to have to do that inverse of P of multiplying. So we're going to end up dividing 2,292 by 24, and we're still going to get 95.5, which would be 95 and a half pages. Okay, when we divided, you still could have got a remainder, but no matter what, she can only completely fill 95 pages. We don't care about the partial ones. She can completely fill 95 pages, which is a lot.
Why would you have that many stickers?
Well, like, I don't get just an album of stickers. I don't know. I have stickers that I give kids sometimes. I have them for a while. I used to do it all the time in fifth grade.
I think there would be more like stamps for this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then stamp collecting.
Or if they really want stamps from me.
Okay, this is weird name spelling day. Megan with extra N's. Or maybe it's Megan. I don't know. Let's listen. What was it say?
Megan is reading.
Okay. Megan is reading a 630-page book. She reads 18 pages per day. Write and solve a division equation to find the number of days, D, it will take Megan to finish her book. Okay, so if I wanted to do a division equation, that means it has to have division in the problem. Okay, so how would I write a division equation for this problem? What would I divide?
630 by 18.
Yep, 630 divided by 18 would give us the number of days she has left to finish her book. Okay, if I wanted to write a multiplication equation, I would show 18 pages times a bunch of days equals 630. Okay, they specifically ask for the division equation though. Okay, so watch when you're doing the homework, if they ask you, make sure you're using the right form, either division or multiplication. But then we do need to find the number of days because it says solve. Okay, so let's take 630 and divide it by 18. How many times will 18 to 63. What if this was 20? How many times will 20 go to 63? Jack?
3 times.
3. How many times will 18 go into 90?
Well,
Becky?
5.
5 times is exactly 90. Oops, stop, okay. So 35 days. So it's gonna take 35 days for Megan to read her book.
Wow.
If she only reads 18 pages a day. It is 630 pages though, so that's a long book. Okay, what if we would have come up with an answer like 35.4? Well, what would you say instead? Like, Josie? Yeah, we probably round it up to 36 days. Okay. Just because we don't know when she's doing her reading. Is she doing it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, spreading it out? So it's just saying 36 would make it easier. But came out even. So it's just 35 days till she finishes her book. Okay. Any questions?
Maybe like this.
A little bit anyway. How many are there on here? Okay, perfect. Okay, on number 5 here. What am I gonna do to solve it? It says explain how to solve, not solve it. What am I gonna do? What do I have to do to solve it, Mackie?
Yeah.
By what?
18 divided by.
Divide by 18, both sides. Okay, number 6, what do I have to do to solve it? Josie?
You have to times by 3 on both.
Yep, times by 3 on both sides. How about number 7? What do I have to do to solve that? Jack?
Multiply by 2 on both sides.
Divide by 2 on both sides. And how about number 8? What do I have to do, Anna? By how much? By what? 5. Yep, multiply by 5. Okay, you're always going to use the number that's with the letter. That's the one you're going to be multiplying by, dividing by, adding, subtracting. Always going to be the one with the on the side with the letter. Okay, any questions? We're not going to make you do these because they're big numbers. So you only have 4 minutes. There is one tablet there. You guys can start on it if you would like. Otherwise, in the book, it's going to be 13 through 29 even. No odd, those are odd numbers. So it's page 199 to 200. You guys have already covered 200 pages in this book. And you also did the fifth grade book. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, so it'd be 13 to 29 odd, or